married for various reasons. Some for love, some because it's an arranged marriage, and some because they don't know what they're doing or what they're getting into. But for whatever reasons that two people decide to come together and get married, it's definitely not because they hate each other, right? But after a while, things start to fall apart. The relationship deteriorates to the point where the two people decide it's best to go their separate ways. Divorce. But my topic today is not about divorce. It's about how divorce affects the people around the couple. It's about how divorce affects family and friends. So guys, stay tuned. Today I want to talk about the effects of divorce on a couple's friends and family, and I'm not really going to dwell too much on the kids, because the kids are part of the family as well, but it's more from the perspective of the adult friends and adult family members. Divorce definitely affects the lives of the two people involved in many ways than we can imagine, but it also affects friendships and familyships, if I can say that, in many ways as well. You see, when couples uncouple, their friendships and their relationships with other friends and family members often change. You find that friends may tend to pick a side, even though I don't think that's the right thing to do or that's the best thing to do many times. In the case of individual friendships, so say the wife's friend who doesn't have a relationship with the husband, or the husband's friend who doesn't have a relationship with the wife. So in the case of those individual friendships, the friendships may tend to thrive better than if the couples had mutual friends. There's usually like that conflict of interest because both of us know both of them. It's harder. So basically, it's easier to retain your friends if that friend was just a friend of either husband or wife. It's always harder to maintain the friendships when the people that are divorcing have mutual friends. Many times when people get married, their social network of friends merge as well. So my friends become his friends become my friends, and now we're sharing friendships. So when there's a divorce between two people, those sort of friendships then become at risk. There's a division amongst people, and it's rightly so, because at the end of the day, these are two people that everyone likes. Their mutual friends like them, and then now things have happened that they've had to separate. Now everyone is thinking, oh, it's a bit awkward now, what we're gonna do, whose side are we gonna be on? So it can be very dicey for friends who find themselves in that sort of situation. When you're friends with a couple that are divorcing, it's always very hard to remain neutral, especially if the circumstance that led to the divorce in the first place was the fault of one person in the relationship. It's hard to not take a side or to not pick a side, but I think the best policy really at the end of the day is to remain neutral, as hard as it may be. So with this next one, I find it a bit odd, but yeah, when two people are divorcing, many times their divorce can affect the relationships or the marriages of their friends or family members as well. So say for instance the wife has been unfaithful, and she has a mutual friend with her husband who knows about the infidelity for so many years but didn't say anything. She didn't say anything to her husband, and she didn't say anything to her friend's husband, and then eventually this becomes public knowledge, is now out in the open, and that has now led to their divorce. The friend who knew about the infidelity may start to have problems in her own marriage or her own relationship, because her man might be like, wow, you've known about this all along and you never told me, you never said anything to me. I mean, am I even sure that both of you haven't been engaging in this sort of things? It might create or cause tension in that relationship, and if it's not nipped in the bud, it might even just split them as well. Another thing is organizing group outings or organizing parties will now become very awkward. It becomes a lot more complicated than it really should be, because now everyone's thinking, well, both people are our friends and now both of them are divorced. Who do we invite? Who do we not invite? If we invite this one and the other one finds out that they weren't invited, we're doomed. If we invite both of them might feel like, why didn't you tell me you're inviting the other? And it becomes awkward, not just for them but for us as well. So it's a really tough place for the friends, the mutual friends, to be when they're organizing stuff. When there's parties or family dues, everyone is like on their toes. Everyone is watching the sort of jokes to make at the table or at the party. Everyone is just not being themselves just because of this divorce situation. It's affecting everyone. It's affecting the dynamics of the relationships around the couple. When you are divorced, you are suddenly eligible. You're suddenly a single man or a single woman. Now you're a threat to all your married friends, because everyone's seeing you as now you're eligible, you're free. Even when you smile at their husband or their wife or their boyfriend or girlfriend, they're looking at you like, Meanwhile, all this time you were married, it doesn't matter if their boyfriend or their girlfriend or their wife sat on your lap, or you guys hugged each other or pecked each other here and there. It wouldn't matter to them because they feel like you're in a relationship, so you weren't a threat to them. But the minute you become divorced and now you're single and eligible, any little smile at people's other half, they're thinking, is that a gesture? Like, is he flirting? Is she flirting? Everyone is on their toes around you because now you're an eligible wife snatcher or boyfriend snatcher or partner snatcher, whatever it is they want to call you. We live in a couple-oriented society, and marriage is deemed more mainstream than divorce or being single, although we're rapidly moving away from that culture. So divorced people are more often than not veiled with a single subcultural lens, where standards are lower and looser, and this may make some married people uncomfortable. So this is my take. I feel like when two people divorce, that's not the time for them to lose friends. That's not the time for friends to keep them at arm's length. It's a time for friends to rally around them and support them. And I know that sometimes the situation surrounding the divorce may mean that you really need to, distance yourself from someone. So I don't know, if it's been an abusive relationship, the person who has been the abuser might, people around them might be like, I don't want anything to do with this person. And I can totally understand that. But all things being equal, say it wasn't none of that, it was just an amicable divorce. I feel like people shouldn't be too distant from people who've just divorced because they need your support at that time. Family members shouldn't pick sides, friends shouldn't be picking sides. I think people should just try and support the couple as much as possible to try and maintain some normalcy for as long as they need it, just to be able to get their strength back and get themselves back and get their confidence back. They don't necessarily have to come back together as a couple, but at least people should not even make it any more awkward than it is for the couple. Picking sides, I don't think it helps anyone. Some people really do deserve to be alienated, and I totally understand it. But for the most part, I think people should just try and maintain neutrality as much as possible and not pick sides, because it might not be your divorce today. What goes around sometimes can come around. Like I said earlier, divorce can be contagious, and so because this is not your divorce doesn't mean it cannot happen to you. So you picking sides and making the life of the other person so hard or so horrible, it's not doing anyone any good in the long run. So I think people need to try and support people who have just divorced rather than alienating them altogether. And also, the divorced couple should try and make things not be so awkward for people around them. Stop doing things that will make friends be like, what, I think, we're just gonna keep your arm's length. People need to be very mature about the way they go about divorce and their relationships altogether, their external relationships altogether. I think that's all I have for today. So guys, thanks a lot for sticking with me today. Guys, don't forget to let me know what you think about this topic, or if you're going through the same thing and you wish to share, let's know what you're thinking in the comment section. And if you like the video, please click on the like button and share the video, and please subscribe to the channel as well. All right, just to encourage me a little bit. Okay guys, see you next time. Bye.